Hi, welcome back. A warm welcome to you. In the last video, we have seen how to derive the law of sines, and also we have used it to calculate the area of triangles. So in this video, we'll see couple of examples just to get ourselves familiar with law of sines. Okay, right. So what exactly the law of sines is? Law of sine. What is the formula? You remember that? That's nothing but equal to. Let me just keep it here at the bottom, so the top we can refer it. It says sine A of A is equal to sine of B by B equal to sine of capital C by small c, right? This is what law of sines tells us. What exactly is the meaning of that? You have a triangle with sides AB, BC, CA or vertices A, comma B, comma C. If you look at the angle A, right? So how the angle A is formed? If the angle A is more, this length becomes more. If the angle A is less, this length becomes less. So angle A, sine of angle A divided by opposite side of capital A, that's nothing but equal to BC, which we call here as small a. Similarly, opposite to capital C, we call it as nothing but equal to small c. Similarly, opposite to capital B, we call it as equal to small b, right? Now what information we have? We have here two sides have been given, and we have also one angle. Remember that you can use law of sines when at least one of these three is completely given. That means either sin A by A or sin B B or sin C comma C. If you know partially, like you know A comma B comma C, you cannot use law of sines. Then you have to use law of cosines, which we will see in the next video. Okay, right. So let me repeat that again. You cannot use law of sines if you have all the sides. You cannot use it because you don't know any one of the angles. You should know either one of the angles, and you should also know the corresponding side and some other information. Okay, so I should have one full set of information, either sin A of A, sin B of B or sin C of C. Okay, that should be fine, right? So let's go ahead and look at this problem. Okay, where I have full information, I have information here completely. So I will not waste time. I will directly go ahead and write about what I know. So I will say sine of 67.38 degrees divided by, what is the opposite side length? 24 is equal to sine of, okay, right? Then what else? We don't know what is capital C. So I will say sine of capital C divided by, I know the length here equal to small c is equal to 26. I don't know what is capital A and I don't know what is small a also. So I will say sine of capital A by small a. Right? That's it. Now how we want to do this? Let's first find out sine of C, because I have partial information here, whereas sine of A is completely black box. I don't know anything about here. But here this is constant. I can make this as one value and I can multiply it by 26 and I can find out inverse of it to find out what is angle C. So our first target is to find out angle C. Then we can say A is nothing but equal to 180 minus of B plus C. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Now let me just pull out the calculator. Okay. This is Google sponsored. So let's see what it says. So what I have to find out? I have to find out sine of C. That's nothing but 26 by 24 into sine of 67.38. First, before using the calculator, check whether you are in degrees or radians. If you get confused like me where you are, one simple thing you can do is just say sine of 30 degrees and check whether it is 0.5 or not. If it is 0.5, you are exactly in degrees. Okay. Now we are good to go. Let's calculate this. 67.38. I should not do like that here. I should say sine of 67.38, that's nothing but 0.923. This I will multiply with 26 and that I will divide with 24. What I got? I got equal to 1. Oh, super. So what is angle C then? I got sine of C is equal to 1, gives me angle C equal to 90 degrees. So what is my angle A? Angle A is nothing but equal to 180 minus of, this is 90 and this 67.38. Now we got this as 90. We know now this is 90. So I can calculate this. This is nothing but 180 minus of 157.38. That's nothing but equal to 22.62 degrees. Just remember, we are not actually looking into degrees and minutes. We are actually looking only into degrees. So if I say 22.62 degrees, okay, generally what we do, whenever 180 minus of 157.38, there is a chance of you writing 22.22. Be careful, it is 22.62. okay, just a small tip. Okay, now we have found out this is nothing but equal to 1, because I know C equal to 90 degrees, sine 90 is 1. Now this is pretty straightforward. You know sine A also. Sine A, what is the value we got? We know A, right? What is A? 2262. So let's find out what is sine A. So let's go back and say I want sine of 22.62. So I will say sine of this one, that is 22.62. okay, that's 0.3846. okay, this I have to multiply with what? I have to multiply with 26 so that I can get what is A. That's 10. okay, seems interesting, right? There is something hidden here. A equal to 10, nothing but it's a right angle triangle. See here, you have 26, 24 and 10. Use your calculator and you calculate this. You have to pardon me with numbers. I go very fast with numbers. That's a manufacturing defect. I'll try to rectify it. This is 676, this is 576 and this is 100. Okay, they form a right angle triangle. So this is how you can solve the problem. Just remember one tip. You can do law of sines only. At least you have one complete set of information. Otherwise, if you have all the three sides, immediately go to the law of cosines. Don't work with law of sines. Go to the law of cosines and find out one angle. If you are able to find out one angle, then you can come back to law of sines and you can continue with law of sines. Because law of cosines involves a lot of squaring and adding. Okay, law of sines is pretty easy to use. Okay, that's about the first sum. Let's move to the next one. Now what we have here. Now just before going ahead with the sum, let me say that the shape of the triangle and the angles, they may not be exactly equal. Whereas here it's a right angle triangle, I have just kept it here. Okay, I have just taken the normal triangle. Okay, right. Now what I have here, now tell me how I will write this here in the format of sine A by A equal to sine B by B equal to sine C by C. Let's start. Okay. Now you have to find out what is G. G is our Mr. X. Okay, we'll solve this case. Okay, we are the detectives, right? Okay, fine. Sine of capital G divided by small g is equal to, where I have full information, I have full information this side. So I will take that immediately. I will say sine of 87 degrees divided by, I know the length is 22, and what else I have? I don't know angle A, but I know the side here. So I will say 12, and this is nothing but equal to sine of angle A. This is it. Sine of G by G equal to sine of 87 by 22 is equal to sine of A by 12. Okay, now it's pretty straightforward. This is nothing but equal to constant. I can find out with the calculator, and I have here 12, so I will work on this particular part and find out what is angle A. My first target is to find out what is angle A. Then I can say that G plus A plus P, that's nothing but angles, equal to 180 degrees. So let me close the gap, GAP gap, right? We'll close the gap once we know the A. We know that P is nothing but equal to 180 minus of sum of G plus A. Okay? We'll apply that. First let's go to and find out what is angle A. To find out angle A, let me just move a little bit down so that you are comfortable and we get some space also. Okay, so sine of 87 by 22. So first my target is to find out A. So I will say sine of A is equal to 12 by 22 into sine of 87. Now let's get Mr. Calculator and we need your help. So we need your help to find out sine of 87 into 12 by 22. Okay, fine. Let's say sine 87, what is that, into 12 divided by 22. That's nothing but equal to, I'll write here, I will say sine of A is equal to, I just missed you, what's that, 0.5447. I'll say that is equal to 0.5447. Now this gives me, if I go for inverse, what is angle A? So let's find out what is angle A. For that I'll go back and I'll fetch this. I have my data here. So whenever you want to find out inverse sine, sine inverse, arc sine, whatever it is, you just do first inverse, then gives you sine inverse, arc sine. Now you know the value, whatever the value is already stored there, the earlier value. So I can say 0. What is that? Can you see that? 544707. 544707. That's equal to 33 degrees. Okay. So I know this is equal to 33 degrees. This is 87, this is 33, this should be equal to 60 because some of the angles are 180 degrees. Very simple. So 180 minus of these two together is 120. That's nothing but equal to 60 degrees. Okay. Now what I did, G plus A plus P equal to 180. You want to find out G. This is mistake. 180 minus of P plus A. That's nothing but 180 minus of 120, 60. Now you have all the three angles. It's very easy now. You want to find out what is G. So what I will say, sine of, you know A equal to 33, so G equal to 60. I will say sine of 60 divided by small g is equal to, I can go to any one of these friends, right? Now all of us are friends. I know this information, I know this information. Let me go back to our old friend, sine 87 by 22. That's nothing but equal to sine 87 by 22. Now if you cross multiply g into sine 87 equal to 22 into this, so this becomes g is equal to, first I will multiply these two, 22 into sine of 60 degrees divided by sine of 87 degrees. Okay, right. Now let's bring back and see what is sine 60 by sine 87. It's a bit tough, no? No. Sine of 60 is equal to 0.866, we know that, divided by sine of 87 is equal to 0.867. This I'll multiply with 22. I'll get an answer. My answer is 19.08. So G is equal to 19.08. It's pretty simple, right? Law of sines is very easy to use and very easy to understand also. In the next video, we'll go to law of cosines. Only one point, again I repeat, remember, you cannot use law of sines if you know only the sides. At least you should know one complete pair here. Then only you can move forward with law of sines. And also, if you know only the three sides in the diagram and it's not a right angle triangle, please proceed to law of cosines. There, find out at least one angle and come back to the Mr. Dependable law of sines. Okay? We'll see in the next video how to do the law of cosines. We'll do the derivation in a simple way. We'll not use any complicated logic. Very, very simple logic and try to understand what is law of cosines. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.